Hey there, welcome to Pepper Geek. Today I'm going to show you how to make delicious homemade sriracha sauce. Due to various supply issues, there have been multiple sriracha shortages reported over the years. This is our version of the sweet and spicy classic sriracha sauce, and it's pretty easy to make at home. Traditionally, sriracha is made with red jalapeno peppers, but today I'm using fresh Fresno peppers. They're one of our favorite peppers to grow in the garden, and the flavor works really well in this sauce. Of course, growing your own peppers is always best for these recipes, and it's a really good way to use up a big harvest. Now in this recipe, there is a quick 1-week ferment, which is optional, but I definitely recommend you not skipping the fermentation process because it's really important for that classic tangy sriracha flavor. Even if you've never fermented anything in the kitchen before, this is actually a really good recipe to start with because it's so simple, and I'm going to walk you through the entire process. And if you really want to geek out and learn more about the fermentation process, we do have a video on Pepper Geek all about that you can check out. And I'll leave a link to our website with this exact recipe and the instructions below if you want to try making it later. So let's get started with all of the ingredients you'll need. First, you'll need 1.5 pounds of hot peppers. I'm using Fresno peppers, but again, you can use red jalapeno peppers, which are used in the classic sriracha hot sauce. 3 large cloves of fresh garlic. We'll ferment the fresh garlic cloves with the peppers for the best flavor payoff. 2 tablespoons of white sugar is also needed. While not as sweet as Thai chili sauce, sriracha is a sweet sauce, so a bit of sugar is needed for this recipe. 1 tablespoon of sea salt. Salt is required not only for the flavor, but for the fermentation process as well. Be sure not to use any salt with additives as it can affect the fermentation process. I'm using sea salt. You'll also need 1/2 cup of water, and I recommend not using tap water as tap water can contain chlorine, which can also affect the fermentation process. I'm also using 1/2 cup of unseasoned rice vinegar. Many recipes for sriracha call for white vinegar or apple cider vinegar, but after experimenting a little bit, we really loved the way that rice vinegar tasted in this recipe. And to help contribute to the sweet profile, you'll also need 1 tablespoon of honey. In this recipe, the rice vinegar and the honey is actually added after the fermentation process is complete, so you won't need to measure out those ingredients until after. To be on the safe side, it is really important that you weigh all of your ingredients and add the right amount of salt to ensure proper fermentation. For this particular recipe, we aim for 2 to 3% salt by weight. So with all of the ingredients needed, let's get started with making the sauce. The first step is to cut the peppers lengthwise, removing the seeds and the pith. Then add the peppers, garlic, sugar, salt, and water into a food processor and puree for about a minute or 2 until it reaches a nice minced texture. Transfer the mixture into a clean glass jar. We like to boil our jars for 10 minutes or just run them through the dishwasher to ensure that they're clean. After transferring the puree, press the mixture down with a spoon to release any air pockets. Wipe the sides of the jar down with a clean paper towel dipped in vinegar to ensure that none of the ferment is sticking to the side of the jar. Cover with an airlock lid, a clean cloth, or a regular mason jar lid. If you're using a regular lid, you'll need to burp the ferment frequently to allow CO2 buildup to escape. Ferment for about a week in a dark place at room temperature. It's important to keep your ferment out of the direct sunlight during this process. Check in on the mixture every couple days as the sauce ferments. It's important to note that ferments with a lot of peppers sometimes develop comm yeast along the top layer. If you notice comm yeast developing on the top of your ferment, it's best just to leave it alone. This is different from mold, and it's completely harmless. You can simply use a spoon or ladle to remove the comm yeast after the ferment is complete. Alright, now we're ready to finish up the sauce. This has been fermenting for a week and it smells amazing. It has that funky vinegar scent, and you could ferment this for much longer, of course. However, we found that 1 week is all you really need to get that classic tangy flavor. Once the fermentation is complete after about a week, you're going to add it to a high-powered blender along with the rice vinegar and the honey. Blend it until it's nice and smooth, about a minute. You can also use an immersion blender for this process or a food processor if it's all that you have. Once it's blended, you're going to strain the pepper mash through a fine mesh strainer into a saucepan or a small pot. At this point, you could just bottle the sauce and store it in the fridge. Keep in mind it may continue to ferment over time, so make sure to burp the ferment occasionally or continue to use an airlock lid. Another option at this point is to cook the sauce. This will help to thicken the sauce a bit, change up the flavors a little, and halt fermentation. To do this, lightly simmer the sauce over medium-low heat, stirring occasionally for about 10 minutes. After the mixture cools a little bit, you can then taste it and add additional salt if you feel it's necessary. So this has been cooling for 10 minutes and we're ready to pour it into our hot sauce jars, and do keep in mind that it will thicken up a little bit as it cools. All right, here we go. And there you have it, homemade sriracha sauce. This sauce is so good. It is delicious on ramen, on soup. You can use it as a dipping sauce or use it for spring rolls, anything that you would use hot sauce for. This sriracha is not too spicy, but it is perfectly tangy and just a little bit sweet. Make sure you store this in the fridge. It'll last about 6 months, and we found that the flavors develop over time and it tastes even better as time goes on. So let us know if you tried this homemade sriracha, any variations you may have made, and whether you made it with Fresnos or jalapenos. And I know I'm wearing a Tabasco sweatshirt, but we are hot sauce lovers in general, and we love it in all of its forms, especially homemade. And don't forget, if you want to print this recipe out or save it for later, I will leave a link below to the full recipe in its written form. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.